Hello. If you could not tell by the title or by my face, this video is going to be about gay, sports, romance, books. So every book or series on this list is going to involve sports, and the two main characters will be cis, bi, or gay men. Also, most, if not all of these, deal with closeted problems and LGBT problems involving the sports world, but they all have happy endings. Also, just a little disclaimer, no disrespect to any LGBT athletes in or out of the closet in any sport ever. I am fully decked out in all of my gay and sports apparel, which is this jersey, which is not even a sports jersey, it's a Deadpool jersey. It's okay. I don't really have much sports memorabilia. Oh wait, no I do. I have this hat. Go Stros. I'm gonna split this video into sections based on the sport that the series mainly deals with. And first up is hockey. Let me just say, I have never seen an entire professional hockey game in my life, whether it be live or on television, but I will read the hell out of any hockey book you put in front of me. The first book is called Ween It by Ashlyn, Kane, and Morgan James. So this is a standalone book. It is not a series. I wish it was. Oh, that'd be amazing. And I 100% recommend this book. I loved it so much. So the two main characters are Gabe and Dante, and they are both hockey players for the same team. So some of the books on this list deal with sports, kind of, but it's not like super prevalent in the book. But in this book it is, because they're both players and on the same team and they travel around a lot. So this book has a lot to do with hockey. But if you don't know anything about hockey or the rules, it's pretty easy to pick up throughout this book. It's really well explained, and there's even like a glossary or something in the back that explains all like the rules and terms and stuff. But if you're super into hockey and you know all the rules and all the everything, this book is amazing also, because this book has a million little references to actual NHL teams and the little team dynamics and like the Twitter stuff and I don't know, just backgrounds of teams. So you would totally feel at home in this little hockey world. The book drama starts out with Gabe being outed to the media about being a homosexual. Eventually Dante and Gabe get into like a little fling thing. So there's not really much I can say about this book without spoiling the hell out of everything, but it has a lot to do with team and media dynamics and stuff, and it's amazing. Go read it. The next book is called Him, and the series is also called Him, like the Him series, written by Elle Kennedy and Sarina Bowen. This is not a series, there's only 2 books. What is there like an official name for that? Just a book and its sequel. There's no really name. Anyways, whatever. This series is fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, every single book on this list, I 100% recommend. 10 out of 10, go read. Amazing. The two main characters in this series are Jamie and Brian, and they met long ago at hockey camp. And they were best friends. They hung out every summer, and they kept in touch during like the regular year. But something happened, and they had a falling out. Well, not actually a falling out, more like a ghosting situation. Anyways, they go to different colleges now, and they are on separate teams, but they come together in the same city to play each other for the national championships, kind of, and they meet again. This is their last season as college athletes, and they have both been drafted into the NHL, and their season is going to start like in like a few months or something. So this is the last summer they have free pretty much. And Jamie is now a counselor at the hockey camp that they met at. So he goes back to help every summer. And this summer, Ryan's gonna go help as well. So they become roommates while they're being counselors at the camp. And things get a little steamy. So the first book is just them reconnecting and getting to know each other again and falling in love. But the second book takes place after the hockey camp. So they're in some Canadian city, I forget which one. And now they're dealing with the whole media, gay, in the closet thing. And that's where the drama starts. There is also a spin-off series called the WAGS series. And if you don't know, WAGS means it's W-A-G. It stands for Wives and Girlfriends of the hockey players. But that series is heterosexual so far. So that's why I'm not really adding it to this list. It's like a side note. But I still recommend it. It's fantastic. The next book is called the Harrisburg Railers series by R.J. Scott. And the first book is called Changing Lines. So there's like 8 or 9 books in the series, and each one deals with its own couple. But in the first book, the main couple is Tennant and Jared. Tennant is a player and Jared is a coach. I'm pretty sure he coaches like offense, but Tennant is defense, or like the other way around. So Jared's not like Tennant's direct coach, but still coach. Anyways, Tennant is traded to the Railers, which is not the best team in the league. But there he meets Jared, who is a coach there. And Jared was actually Tennant's brother's old friend, because Jared used to be a hockey player, but like got injured, so now he's a coach. So somewhere along the line, Tennant comes out of the closet, sets off this whole chain reaction in the series. It's one of those series where everybody is gay. Like pretty much every single player is gay, which not exactly realistic. I'm pretty sure it's like 1 in 10 people are gay, or like on the LGBT spectrum. I mean, I guess there could be an all-gay sports team, but it would not be by accident. It would have to be purposely assembled. But it does make for a very interesting and like intertwined series, and I recommend you go read it immediately. The next book is called Linemates by Barrett, and I'm pretty sure it's just a standalone book. The 2 main characters are Callan and Tyler, and Callan gets traded to Tyler's team, which is also not doing very well. I'm pretty sure that's a theme amongst gay romance books. Previously, Tyler's team had a little rivalry thing going on with Callan's, and it was mostly Callan's fault because Callan does this thing where he pisses people off. It's kind of Callan's job to get inside other players' heads and make them like lose focus and mess up during games, and he is very good at his job. So needless to say, Callan's pissed off his new team pretty well, and then he gets traded to them. But eventually Callan and Tyler become friends, and more than. And rumors start spreading about Callan's sexuality and why he was traded and a whole bunch of stuff. I can't really say too much because that'd be very spoilery, but I will say there's blackmail and homophobia and homophobic people getting the bejesus slapped out of them, metaphorically, and a whole bunch of drama, and it is delicious. The next book is called Off the Ice by Avon, Gale, and Piper Vaughn, and let me just say, these 2 authors are amazing on their own, and together they are fire. So the 2 main characters are Tristan and Sebastian, and Tristan is an NHL hockey player and Sebastian is a professor. So while Tristan is in the NHL, he knows that he can't play hockey forever, so he's going back to school for summer classes, and getting his degree, which is admirable as hell, and Sebastian is his professor. They don't really start talking personally until Tristan is called into Sebastian's office for plagiarism. He didn't plagiarize, just so you know. But they don't get together until classes are over and Sebastian is no longer Tristan's professor. Sebastian is out of the closet and Tristan is obviously not, because professional athlete and all that jazz. So that causes some problems, like it does in pretty much every single one of these books. So this book doesn't have too much drama or angst, which I find fantastic. I only really like a specific type of drama, which is drama that's not like pointless and it's mostly external and not the characters being stupid. So this book hit all of my buttons. It was light and funny and just left me feeling, I don't know, content. Avon Gale also has another gay hockey series. It's called Scoring Chances, but I actually haven't gotten to reading it yet, which I don't know why. I need to get on that immediately. Just a little forewarning, this book has a little bit of kink to it. It's some dom, sub, a little bit of humiliation thing going on. I don't find it too overbearing that if like you weren't into it, it wouldn't like put you off too much. But I mean, some people are just like totally vanilla, which is completely fine. So I just figured I'd put it out there so you could have a little bit of warning. Holy crap, that was like 5 hockey books. I love hockey, but only in written form or easily digestible YouTube compilations. The next sport is baseball. Kind of. The only series I have for baseball is the Fake Boyfriend series by Finley. And the first book, called Fake Out, doesn't really deal with baseball that much. The second one deals with football, but also not that much, and there's not actually a lot of playing the sports in this series, but I think the plot totally makes up for that. So the first 2 main characters are Maddox and Damon, and Maddox did something kind of messed up. When he was in high school, he had a girlfriend and he kept trying to break up with her, but she was like not having it and refused to let him break up with her. So he said he was gay. Let me just say, this is kind of the opposite of how these kind of books usually go. Usually they're lying about being straight, but he's lying about being gay, and it's just perfect. Yeah. So I don't really recommend doing that, and here's why. Maddox ran into his girlfriend at a bar, and she's getting married, and guess who is invited to the wedding with his boyfriend that doesn't exist? Maddox. So Maddox asked his best friend if her brother would go with him, because Maddox knows that her brother is gay, and that brother is named Damon. So Damon will be Maddox's fake boyfriend for the weekend. What could possibly go wrong? So you're probably wondering, how in the hell does this have anything to do with baseball? Damon is an ex-baseball player, but now he is a scouting agent. And the only reason he agreed to this tomfoolery with Maddox is because Maddox promised he'd get an interview with some famous hockey player for Damon. But that's pretty much where the sports ends. The second book does have more to deal with football than baseball, but I just needed something to put on the baseball section of this video, because the baseball romance that I read is usually heterosexual. I don't think I've ever read a gay baseball romance. I should probably find some. The second book is about a football player, Matt, who is forced out of the closet, and his fake boyfriend, Noah, and they get into shenanigans. And the second book is just as good as the first one. I love this series. It is hilarious. There are awesome side characters and like witty banter, and it's just a fun time for everyone. Go read it. The next sport is football. Now, I am from Houston. I grew up on football. Not really willingly, it wasn't my favorite, but then you put it in book form and you put the gays on top of it, and now it's totally my thing. The next series is called the Barrett series by Santino Hassell. Let me just say, I love this series. It is definitely in my top 5 favorite gay sports romance books of all time. The first book's characters are Gavin and Noah, and Gavin is a football player, and he's like a bad boy, and he is on house arrest for assault, which sounds sketchy when you first hear that, but it gets better. And Noah is like a gay activist, social justice warrior type guy, and he becomes Gavin's personal assistant while he is on house arrest because he can't really do anything. So they eventually fall in love and have adventures, and you find out why he's on house arrest, and then being in the closet / not being in the closet stuff happens, and go read it. And the second book, I think I like the second book like this much more than the first book. So the second book has 2 football players, Adrian and Simon. And I love it so much. Oh, I could totally reread that after this video. Oh, I probably will. The next series is the Nice Guy series by Kindle Alexander. The name of the first book is called Double Fool, and it deals with Jace and Colt. So Colt is an NFL player, and Jace is a cheerleader. Kind of. He runs a cheerleading gym, and he trains cheerleaders, but he was professionally a cheerleader a while ago. So they had like a fling a while ago for about a week, but then they split up, but they're still in love because the romance series. So Colt is in the closet, and he is all kinds of messed up. I'm talking sex, women, drugs, and his father is forcing him to marry a woman, which is not cool. But he eventually gets cleaned up and bails on his wedding and runs to Hawaii to find Jace. Jace trains cheerleaders, and he is hella successful, and he is going on vacay to Hawaii to this beach house where he and Colt had their first thing. And Jace gave an interview on TV and said he was going on vacation to Hawaii, and Colt saw it. So that's how Colt knows where Jace is, and that's where he's running because love. So that's kind of where it stops being a sports romance. Shit goes down, like criminal stuff, like gay bashing, criminal stuff, and like mystery solving. So the next books in the series are like gay, military, police, romance books. So even though the series is not really sports romance for long, I wanted to put on this list because, I don't know, I wanted to, and I can. So I did. So the next sport on this list is professional fighting. And I only have one series. It is called the KAGE series by Maris Black. To be honest, it has been a hot minute since I've read this series, so don't quiz me on it. So Michael KAGE is an MMA fighter, and his love interest is Jamie, and he is like an intern publicist. Jamie sort of lies his way into a job with KAGE, but KAGE knows he's lying, but like takes him on anyways because, I don't know, don't ask me his reasoning. They eventually get into a relationship, and that relationship is the same one throughout the entire series, but I couldn't tell you too much about it because spoilers. The series is pretty dark and gritty, but it still has its cute, fluffy, funny moments, and it's extremely entertaining, but you might have to read some sappy fanfic after it or something. That's what I did. There are cliffhangers at the end of the books, but it is a complete series, so you don't really have to wait for the next one, which is always good. Ooh, side note, this story actually inspired me to get my Claddagh ring. It's an Irish thing. You've probably seen it around before. Pretty much if the point of the heart is pointing away from you, it means you're not in love. but if it's pointing towards you, it means you are. So mine says that I'm single and ready to mingle. So the last category on this list is soccer, American soccer. I'm sorry, the only soccer books that I've read are heterosexual couples. But I wanted to put a soccer book on this list because I actually already have the first book in this series and am planning on reading it after I finish this video. So I will maybe write something down in the comments or in the description if I liked it or not. The series is called the Glasgow Lads series by Avery Cockburn. The reviews on Goodreads look really good and it seems really promising, so I'm kind of excited. Like I said, I already have the book and I've been planning on getting to it for like a while, but you know, real life has been distracting me and I am not very good at responsibility. So it's Scottish soccer, so it's technically football, which, hell yeah, hot sports guys and Scottish accents, put them together, I am there. Anyways, that is the end of the series. If I have a Goodreads list that I find, I'll be scrolling it right here. And if I don't have one, I will edit this out of the video. I was thinking about maybe doing a rocker romance series list for my next video. Comment if you have any opinions on that. That's pretty much it. So, bye.